Hello again, welcome to the Rose online class. So we'll be sewing our 6-piece skirt today. Our 6-piece skirt comprises of the band and the skirt block. So you can see this part is going to really be like an A-line too, but then the center pieces will also have the flare coming out there. So we have 1, 2, 3 for the front, then 1, 2, 3 for the back. Remember that we'll be slashing the back into 2 because of the zipper allowance. Okay, so we'll go to the fabric to make this now. Our skirt measurement will require that we divide the circumference measurements by 6, not by 4 this time. So for the length of this skirt, I'll be using 37 inches. 37 inches, and so you add ½ inch to the 37. That's 37 and a half. 37 and a half. Okay, then remember that we'll be putting the band there, so you subtract 1 inch from that 37 and a half, so that gives us 36 and a half. So you adjust your measurement to 36. I like to tell you the actual measurement before the subtraction so that you don't get confused. Okay, that is that. So now for the circumference measurement, we'll be cutting it in pieces. So we'll need the waist circumference and the hip circumference. The waist circumference is 46. Now when we divide 46 by 6, it gives us 7.7 inches. So now I will be cutting my center piece for the front on fold. So 7.7 inches divided by 2 will give me, let's say 3.75. Let's leave it at 3.75. In actual sense, that will give us, more than 7.7. But just leave it at that, 3.75. Then you had ½ inch seam allowance to sew the pieces together. So in all we have 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. So now you will get your half length measurement. That you begin your measurement from 1 now because of the band that will be coming in here from 1. So remember, our half length will divide 37, the full length, by 2. That gives us 18.5. So 18.5 plus ½ inch is 19 for the half length. But because if your pieces will begin from on the knee, that's going to create an obstruction when you walk. So you calculate 2 inches above the knee, above the half length. That's where your pieces will begin from. So the 4.5 that you have at the top here, you also put it at the half length, 4.5. Okay, now you're going to connect both together like this. You connect both together. So now 4.5. So we'll come to the M line, the base. You see, you put the 4.5 there also at the base, and then you add 5 inches or 8 inches depending on how full you want your panel to be. Yeah, panel. So for the center panel and my panel, I'll be using 5.5 inches. And then you connect from the half length to this point like this, and then you cut. So now we've cut the center front, so I've placed that on the fabric to cut my center back, and then you include 2 inches zipper allowance. Now for the side panel, you're going to fold your fabric into two. So this is going to be for the front piece, the two pieces for the front. And then you take the center panel. You take the center panel, that's the center front. You open it up like this so that you can get the equal size of your panel from left to right or right to left, like that. Center panel. And so you'll be getting the shape. Just draw out this shape on one side like this. Draw that shape. So I'll cut that out before I tell you what next to do. Okay, so now I've traced out my centerpiece panel, on, you know, the two pieces for the sides. So you're going to cut that out. So to get the shape at the hip part, remember we've divided our circumferences by 6 inches. So the hip here is 50. Divide 50 by 6, you have 8.3. So you get your waist to hip. Remember, you begin your measurement from 1 here, not at the edge, 1 because of the band. So 8 inches plus half, that's 8.5. So it's on this point to measure the hip circumference. So for your waist now, remember 46 divided by 6 is 7.7. Now this is not on fold because we are cutting two pieces for the side. So you measure the 7.7 here. 7.7. So you just mark about 7.75. That's 7 3/4. 7.7 here. And then you add 2 inches allowance. Remember that for the pieces skirts, the cutting we have here will suffice for the darts. By the time we'll be joining the pieces together or the panels together, we're already taking our half inch darts. So for the 6 pieces skirts, the dart is also the pieces point. Okay, so you're not adding 0.5, okay, to the sides. It's already at the center. So you just add 2 inches seam allowance at the side. Now on the hip, you will need that 50 inches divided by 6. That is 8.3. You mark 8.3. That's just about 8.25. Just mark it like that. Then you add 2 inches seam allowance there. Then you come to the half length. Remember our half length now is 17. Okay, so that point 2, you're going to get the exact measurement you did on the hip like this. That's 10.5. And then because we want it to be fish in effect, so you're going to subtract about 1 inch, just like this, 1 inch, depending on how you want it, you know. So then you connect together, and then you connect that to the M line like this. Connect it to the M line, and then before you cut, you're going to check with your center panel. You see this? Check with your center front panel to see that your panels are equal at the M line. Then you can cut. The extension is because we have a hip point on the side. The center does not have hip point. That's why we used only the waist circumference to cut the center pieces. But the side pieces, you use your hip circumference on the hip point. So now you can cut. So now you fold the fabric again, and then you place the side pieces together, and then you place it on the fabric. So you're going to cut out the other sides for the back. This is the side for the front, so you cut the 2 sides for the back. So that's about all for 6 pieces skirt. Thank you.